if you want to create generational wealth that you're going to pass down to your children and your children's children, passive income isn't going to get you there. You need earned income. And the fastest way to get that is by owning your own business. Now, if you own your own business, you control your own destiny. There's two ways to do this. You can start from scratch or buy an existing business. And the SBA 7A loan is the best way to finance either one of those transactions. But in this video, I'm going to talk to you about how the SBA 7A loan can be used to acquire an existing business so you can create generational wealth for years to come. To qualify for an SBA loan to buy a business, you need three things. Number one, credit. You need good credit, a track record of paying your bills on time. That one should be easy. Number two, you need cash. Enough cash to put down at least 10% of the project. So if the business you're buying is $500,000, that means you're gonna need to put down about $50,000. Now, some of that could be a gift if you happen to have a rich uncle, but for the most part, this means saving up. And I know it's not always easy, but it's doable, especially when it means fulfilling your dreams and buying a business so that you can start controlling your own destiny, okay? So focus on saving cash. And the last thing, number three, maybe the most important, is experience. Experience is critical to running a business. You have to know how to manage people. You have to know how to manage finances. And you have to have some sort of knowledge that's relevant to the business that you're buying. So my advice is to try to work your way up in whatever job that you have so that you can start gaining as much experience as possible.
Let's take a look at the numbers so we can see how this really works, and then we'll understand how buying a business can actually lead to creating wealth. Let's say you're buying a business for $1 million. That business is going to be valued at around 3 times seller's discretionary earnings, or SDE. That means it makes about $330,000 a year, or $27,500 a month in cash flow. And that's after all expenses are paid. Now, you're going to put down $100,000 cash and finance the rest over 10 years at a rate of around, let's just say 10% to be conservative. Your monthly debt payment is going to be $12,000. That means day one, the business is going to be generating excess cash flow of $15,500 a month, or $186,000 a year.
Now, just to prove to you that this is possible, I want to tell you a story. There was this girl who got a job as a receptionist when she was 18. It was actually her first ever job. And she was going through beauty school or whatever to become a stylist, and eventually worked her way up to become a stylist, and then started getting some management responsibilities. So now after 6-7 years, she was a manager, still servicing some of her clients, but also in charge of a lot of the administrative side of the business and managing all the other stylists. So the owner was starting to have some health issues and needed to sell the business. Now, who better to buy it than the person who's been there for the last 7 years and managing the business? So she had managed to save up about $40,000, and she needed about $55,000 to buy the business. So the seller, which the SBA allows, provided about half of that down payment money, where she only had to put in 5%. So she put in 5%, the seller put in 5%, and me as the SBA lender financed 90% of the transaction. And I helped somebody buy the business that they actually got their first job at, which was an amazing story. So that just shows you what is possible.
I've worked with entrepreneurs my entire life. I know this is possible. Does it require hard work? Yes. Is there risk involved? Sure. Small business owners are personally guaranteeing these loans, and in many cases putting their houses up as collateral. But why? Opportunity. This type of opportunity doesn't exist anywhere else in the market. My borrowers are buying businesses for 3 times earnings. Meanwhile, there are folks investing in public companies that aren't even profitable yet. And to be able to finance these businesses with just 10% down is unheard of. And now with all these baby boomers retiring, many of which own businesses, we're about to see trillions of dollars in wealth exchange hands. But there's a catch to all this. Small businesses are living, breathing things. This isn't like buying a stock or buying a piece of real estate. You have customers, employees, vendors, and it can be a grind, but it's also very rewarding.
If I'm speaking your language, there are resources at your disposal that you can use to help educate yourself. I will leave them in the description. And of course, if you have any questions on the financing side of things, drop me a comment.
So there you have it. If you found that video helpful and you want more expert advice from an actual SBA lender, then I would invite you to hit that subscribe button because I've got plenty more where that came from.